Hey guys, today I'm joined by Jim X. Ye, who's a University of Chicago MBA and biology major who founded Imperium Global and now practices traditional Chinese medicine through Angelica Natural Health and arthritis herbal tea to help Americans reclaim wellness in an industrialized world. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Danny. It's nice to have a talk, to get connected, and I'd love to talk about this herb, nature, health, medicine, this topic, this broad topic. This is a very important topic, actually.
Yeah, so we can just keep going. You can give a little bit, introduction about yourself, where you come from,
Okay.
and how you started in this field.
Sure. Originally, I'm from China. I came to US like 25 years ago and coming for the master degree for the biology field. Started. So basically, they had. Well, then later I worked in the lab, for a few years. My combined, lab research experience had like 10 years. So which means, I was a scientist, very professional, biology, life science field. I worked on molecular biology, biochemistry, pharmacogenetics, pharmacogenomics area. Worked at University of Notre Dame, and they have a biological science department. And also worked at University of Chicago, a Department of Medicine. So it's very professional, in the research area. But I found, the this medical science still has a lot of limitation, I would say. It still have some limitation to treat a disease or find the cause or find the solution. So I would say later, I had another degree at the University of Chicago for the finance. So I had some finance activity, as a career. But I my personal interest shift slightly towards nature health, nature solution, herb, trying to solve the problem by the nature. So I studied a lot of traditional Chinese medicine. We call it TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. There's a lot of books written by those old times, 1,000 years ago, even a few hundred years ago. Then those practitioner, because we cannot not say doctor in United States, right? Actually, we call them doctor, herbal doctor. But in United States, maybe we should say a practitioner, right? Then they wrote a lot of books, like record all those experience, experimenting, and that's very condensed, knowledge accumulated for like almost 2,000 years. And I found a lot of formulas, experience are very amazing. We can still use those old written formulas, herbs, to treat a lot of diseases, and especially those like very complicated diseases. I saw those like recorded, case, like proof, people can get recovered from very sick to recover, maybe a few weeks, sometimes a few months, depends the situation, sometimes even a few days. That's very amazing. Even people use herbs, like some people would say, oh, that's very poisonous. Those doctor, practitioner, they use very poisonous herbs to rescue people from dying to, stay alive. Then treat them to make them recover. Those are very amazing cases, a lot of them. So I thought this fascinating because, well, in China, like in Chinese culture, like as the kid, I try to help my parents, when they are getting old. Maybe it's kind of traditional way, the kids should take care of their parents, when they are old and older. So because I'm the only child, like I'm in US, they're in China, so I'm like worried about, what if when they get old, then I don't trust the hospital very much because if you get sick, they give you a lot of pills. Sometimes it gets the body worse. So I'm trying to study those old-fashioned, wisdom to help them. So I studied so several years, and I also helped some people, like some friends referred to me, help them, to get recovered, treated some disease, not in US, in China, with through the internet, I just give advice, and some cases are very amazing. I even treated one lady. She had brain cancer. brain cancer. Then she did a surgery. Then after a few years, then the brain cancer, the tumor grow back, which is very serious. And she doesn't trust the medical science. So somehow she found me. Then I treated her like for about almost half a year. We had every weekly meeting, say what's going on, if so I like doing some like we call it prescription. It's not the pills or medicine, but basically prescription is means we combine different herbs together to make a formula. A lot of formula are personalized because depends your situation, and it depends your situation, your illness, right? And also as a lot of factors, then we ask questions, ask feedback, then we make formulas. We call it prescription, but actually it's make formulas because it's internet based. So I didn't mail her anything. She just need to get the herbs from her like local store. I just tell her like how much for this, how much for this, how to cook, how to to take or eat. Then at the beginning, like every week, she will has different situations. Stomach, like had a problem, a lot of headache or sometimes, diarrhea or not diarrhea, but difficult to poop, a lot of situations. So I always need to adjust the formula, the prescription. Then after a while, maybe a month or two, then things get more stabilized. Then she can, I don't need to change the formula so much. Then it's make more stabilized. Then after like 4 or 5 months, maybe six, then she, at the later, she just occasionally she come back to me, tell me what's going on, then feedback, then change something. Otherwise, she can manage by herself. I haven't heard from her, for a few years. Seems like, I don't know, maybe nothing is serious happening. At least, she can survive, or she can, stay in a normal life. So I want to bring this case is because TCM and the current medical science are totally different system. Not many people can understand. Now they have different theory, different terminology, different standard. Standard means you say, oh, this person is sick, right? Or not. Or you have a disease or not, right? These are standard are even different. Have you get recovered or not? Because in US, you are not allowed to say cure this word in the field. Because if you say this, like, I'm sick, the doctor will not say, oh, I can cure like your disease or your sickness. No, they say I treat. Treat means they cannot guarantee the result, right? Maybe you can get cured, right? Or maybe you can't. Maybe things get even worse, right? So they only use treatment, this word. But in TCM, if we say so the different standard for the disease, we have different terminology. You say, oh, I'm like, for example, maybe I'm a little bit I'm trying to put the right word because it's totally different. For example, high blood pressure. This is a disease in we call it Western medicine, right? But in TCM, this is not a disease. This is we call a symptom. Symptom is not a disease because there are different reasons can cause the blood pressure goes high. Imagine like a river gets blocked, then somehow the body say, hey, it's blocked, we need either you increase the water speed to get unblocked, or you need to increase the pressure to make it go through, right? And because our body have a very fine-tuned mechanism, like when you run, you will get blood pressure higher and the speed of the blood, quick. It's normal, right? But you cannot always keep your speed of your blood, so quick all the time. So imagine your vessel, blood vessel is blocked. So the body is naturally, it will not go to the fast speed of the blood, but it will say, hey, let's raise the blood pressure. That's which is caused. The symptom is say, oh, it's the high blood pressure because the vessel, maybe blood vessel gets blocked. There's other reasons. For example, maybe your some organ maybe doesn't have nutrition, doesn't have enough nutrition. Then your body, the organ will send a signal to your brain, say, "Hey, I don't have nutrition." Means you need to send more nutrition to me, right? How the body do that? They need to send more blood because all the nutrition is carried by the blood. So if the organ doesn't have nutrition, then the body will also increase the blood pressure, to send more blood, which carries the nutrition to the organ. You see, just make examples, different examples, like two different reasoning, but you still see the same symptom, but reasoning are different. So I'm trying to talk about with simple language because if I use the TCM talk, like people nobody will understand. So just two examples. So basically, different like root of cause can have the same symptom. So the symptom we don't call this disease. It's called we don't call it a disease. We use terminology like the disease of too much water, or disease of like too dry in your body, or disease of fire, like a disease of cold, it's just different terminologies. But we check a lot of symptoms. For example, like blood pressure, we feel the pulse. We can see a lot of symptoms. We will check your tongue. We will like ask your question about how do you pee, how do you poop, like those, questions. How do you sleep? Where is your pain? And what kind of your pain? Like very stable or at different place? And sometimes it has a rhythm. Sometimes, we have pain or certain symptom like at certain time of the day. These are all symptoms, and even the pain have different root of cause. Because, for example, people say, I'm like headache. Headache is very simple to describe a symptom, but we would ask, are you headache like in the behind the back or the side? And also the pain, we need to ask, if you say, here I'm pain, like we will push it. Some pain, when you push it, has the pressure, you will feel relieved, feel much better, right? Sometimes if the pain, we push it, like, I can do it, like, you feel even more pain. That's totally different because one, we call like, if you push it, the pain, if you feel somewhere you feel pain, then if we push it, then feel more pain. Then we say this is some like field, which means you have something inside. It's like you have, so it's basically you have something inside. Just imagine, okay, we have different terminology I'm trying to explain. Sometimes I don't have right English name for it because we call it 实. Basically, you have something field. Then when you push, you have more pleasure, right? Then you feel more pain. But if you press it, then feel relieved. We call it's not filled; it's called hollow, which means it's empty inside. When you empty it, imagine when you press on something empty, it doesn't generate a lot of pressure. Just instead you make it feel better. There's different all kinds of symptoms. But however, in like Western medicine field, the doctor doesn't really tell much difference. You just say, I feel pain, I headache. Just give you some pills that take the pain away. It's called we call it the cover up. It didn't really solve the problem, even because they don't like divide to these very fine tuned. Because our body is very fine tuned in a mechanism, and the dog doesn't really recognize all different kind of pains at different place, different kind of pain. They don't make distinguish. Obviously, it's different, right? But nobody knows. Even the sleep example, people say, I don't have good sleep. I can't sleep. Then we call it insomnia, right? In medical field, then this is called a disease. And again, we don't call this disease. We call it just a symptom. Different sleep. Some people just difficult to get into sleep. After they get into sleep, they can sleep very well. Some people are very easy to awake. They can sleep, but they very, always wake up, then sleep, wake up, sleep. It's all those different type of symptom. Some people they always wake up at during a certain time, like wake up for like always like say midnight, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, then they stay for 1 hour, two, then they get sleep again. So they have, like pattern for those sleep problem. Some people, they had like from 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, different time. So all these different patterns of, difficult sleep, we all call them symptom, not call them disease. So I'm trying to explain in plain language to let people understand these are two different systems with different standard, standard to define the disease. Hopefully it's clear.
Yeah, yeah. So these are completely two different philosophies when it comes to addressing the medical issue. So are you advocating for integrating some of the, what's the abbreviation, TCM?
TCM, yeah, traditional Chinese medicine,
Yeah.
TCM.
So are you advocating for integrating TCM into the Western way of doing medicine, or are you advocating for, using TSM on its own in contrast to the Western medicine?
This is a huge, big topic debated even in China. I saw there's a Northwestern University hospital. Northwestern, I don't know if the university or hospital or maybe just Northwestern Hospital in Chicago. They had some integrated program trying to study this TCM with these medical science. Very difficult to combine them together. If you want to do research, there's tons of research to do because as a human being, we cannot do a lot of experiment, especially sick people. How can you just do the experiment? But but the reality is, in the last 2,000 years in China, doctors, we call the practitioners, they did a lot of experiment on human being. Then they recorded all these. Even some people get treated by the doctor and they die. Doctor say sorry, So doctors are very respected in China in all the ways. But some doctors, human being, we have to recognize our human being. We have limitation. Even science has a limitation. Our human being, like our capability also have limitation. Even the doctors, different doctors trained in different, have different knowledge level, whatever, experience, they have limitations. Sometimes we do experiment on people. We just need to try it. Sometimes it works that they record it, write it down. Oh, people get more experience. Sometimes it's failed. I'm sorry, died. And no choice, no choice. So when the medical science introduced to China, like 100 years ago, then people start to realize, it's amazing. Like you using a lot of antibiotic, it works perfect. Use some pills, it's like have effect right away. It's work perfect. There's people started to trying to debate. We should we should to do it, and even in nowadays, a lot of China, especially in China, because herbal medicine is recognized as the legit practice. So a lot of universities, doctors are doing the experiment. They do, a lot of like blinded, control, like test, like those, trying to figure out how to, more scientifically to find out what's going on, why this is working, why this is not working, or is it really working or not. Again, this is very difficult. From my understanding, I think the TCM's view, the framework, it's fascinating. It's even higher level than current medical science. Because current medical science, they view the body as like part by part. If something wrong, your brain is wrong, they just neuro. If you had the cancer, there's a specialized cancer doctor. They specialize the certain part. But the TCM is like see the body as a whole. Actually, if you can observe, there's link different among different organs or different symptom and disease. So for example, the lung cancer patient usually they will have diarrhea. Because the big intestine and the lung in the TCM theory, okay, they are paired together. But current science, they don't know. I had a grandfather, he never smoked, but one day he started to have like diarrhea. And he always have diarrhea. They thought, oh, just a diarrhea. It's in a big intestine. It's inside. Maybe you eat something different, right? Eat something bad. You have diarrhea. But it turns out he had the lung cancer. So how the diarrhea is related to lung, which happens in the big intestine, right? But how it's related. But in TCM, it gives the perfect explanation because the lung and the big intestine, it's paired together. And we know how to do the treatment. We need to do something like for the lung and big intestine, it's just the same organ. We shouldn't say same organ, but I mean, it's just, I don't know how to express this, but different organs, they have okay, let me say this. Okay, big intestine, this is lung system. The body have 5 system. It's not organ. It's in TCM. It's a system: lung system, heart system, liver system, kidney system, and the spleen system. The stomach, for example, stomach and the spleen, it's within one system. Like the kidney system for reproduction, also the bone marrow, and other, pee, there's water metabolism. It's all we call the kidney system. We don't really treat like one organ. We make this a system. So it's more, instead of separate them into very small, very specialized part, we just trying to make it more, because the body like works all together from practice and the theory. Everything are working, interacted, each other. And the fascinating is, if you go to if you acupuncture or Chinese massage area, you see those acupuncture point, right? Acupuncture it's working, right? People working, but nobody knows how it works, right? It can treat a lot of disease. But if you look at those acupuncture point, the foot massage is very popular in China. Foot massage. They also massage those acupoint. Now, on a foot, there's map on a foot. There's map. Or if you feel pain like in this area, then indicate, your maybe lung system had a problem. Or another place you say, you feel pain, or your maybe kidney system is weak. They can do check. There's a checkpoint. So which means even in one organ, the foot, one organ, you can see the kidney, heart, lung, spleen, or maybe digestive system, and kidney, liver system. Which means all the information will appear in one organ. Now let's look at a cellular level. Now remember, each organ is composed by the cells, but each cell, think about it, each cell, they contain all the DNA information for the whole body for this person, right? The DNA has all the information because your body, all the cells are same. It's just eventually it will differentiate, become like neural cell, it become like a skin cell. But the DNA information is exactly the same. It's you. So at a high level, so the organ, no matter which organ, even the ear, for example, ear, there's different acupoint can reflect your whole body's different area has problem or weak, or you can check. There's a map. People did the map, map out. Even the hand. The hand is one organ, let's say, because that's external or not internal, because we have no way to check internal, right? So there's a map, and something wrong, you have the pain to reflect what's wrong inside. So the TCM, very experienced TCM practitioner, they can see the inside from those signals, outside external signals, information. Something wrong inside can reflect to outside. How you
Mhm.
sleep, how do you eat, how do you feel pain, all kinds of information. I realize most people don't know that.
This is fascinating because personally, I didn't know a lot about this, and it's completely different. It's a completely different philosophy, and the approach to to medicine, which is very interesting to learn. I'll definitely look for and leave some links under the video to for the listeners to learn more. Maybe if you want, I can also share your LinkedIn. But yeah, this is definitely very interesting, and appreciate you sharing all of these thoughts and perspectives on this Chinese
TCM.
TCM. Yeah, yeah. Yep, yep. Appreciate it, sir.
Yeah, no problem. When talk about this, I'm always happy trying to get more information. I'm always excited to let more people understand, how you view your body, how you can take care of yourself in a better way.
Hmm.
And to stay healthy. Yeah, hope everybody can be healthy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Thank